From North Pole, New York to Snowflake, Arizona. From Noel, Missouri. I almost said Missouri. To Christmas Cove, Maine. Let's ride. We want to ride shotgun with you for the next hour, talking trucking with Deaton and Doty, Christian and Kumar, Ian and Joel, Austin and the famous Kumar, and as always, the Highwaymen, Ray, Kev, Nate, Mackie, the Creature, and Traveling Mike. How's it going, everybody?
Oh, great, Russ.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Can you believe it's Christmas already? I cannot.
Feliz Navidad.
And
This is a great time of year where, like, dads
Happy
buy their
Hanukkah.
own gifts. Yes.
Happy Hanukkah.
Merry Kwanzaa.
Any more holidays?
Anyone else? So, Christian, are you ready
I'm
for
unwrapping tamales.
Christmas?
Yeah, we're ready. So we do 4 gifts, something you want, something you need, something to wear, and something to read. And so it's a pretty tight budget for the kids every year. They don't think they're getting, like, crazy things. And,
Yeah, I like that. That's a great idea.
So it's 4 things. They know that they're going to get something in each one of those categories. As they get older, the clothing's the most expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, my wife and I shop throughout the year. So
Yeah,
rack up those bills this time of year.
We
Say that again. What are the 4?
Something you want, something you need, something to wear, and something to read.
Something borrowed, something blue.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
Something
pretty
to
nice.
eat.
I mean, so they get books and stuff like that too. And, they know what they're
Yeah.
getting. It's good. It might
We
be like
hammered
a
down
hunting
on-
subscription for 12 months. I mean, but there's a budget.
I like the something to read part. That's a good gift idea.
I just like the 4 categories idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the kids don't argue because once they open those gifts, they're like, okay, well, hopefully my mom and granddad or Santa Claus sent something along.
Or read the dat board.
We hit the online shopping pretty hard.
Did you?
Which is kind of nice, actually, because I know everybody in the world's been under the weather. So is everybody up here. So it's kind of nice that we didn't have to leave the house. And man, you can buy anything online, anything. It's amazing.
That's all I do.
Yeah, it's great.
Nothing left to.
It's great. But now here's the thing. Every day I got a pile of boxes outside our front door. Every time I come home,
Yeah.
it's like shoveling in boxes.
I
Every
need
single
to
little
give you my
thing.
address for your Amazon
Yeah.
account. Yeah.
Sounds like you live in a good neighborhood. You don't deal with
Yeah.
the porch pirates.
Yeah, they don't steal them over there. But yeah, and the funny thing is though, when you go to Target and shop and you put in a basket and everything's in a bag, it's easy. When you shop online, every little thing is in a box. So all the packaging, you should see my garage. One side of the garage, I got my trailer with the 4-wheeler and my son's dirt bike on it. The other side, a huge pile of cardboard that and I'm so sick of cutting cardboard and stacking it. And
But see, Russ-
there is a recycle. I got to take it to the recycle, but it's just piling up.
It's called a bonfire in the backyard.
That used to be
Russell,
part of my job is cutting boxes.
What's that, Christian?
No, I was just saying I have a theory on why we like to online shop so much. It's almost like we get 2 surprises. We order it
Yeah.
and we're excited about it. Then when it comes to the house, you're like, oh my gosh, what is it?
Yeah.
You don't know which box
Yeah.
it is. So you open it up. So it's really you're getting 2 gifts for one.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a confession. We actually have a 50-gallon burn barrel and a 50-gallon drum burn barrel, and that's where we put all the cardboard from Amazon. Yeah.
If I had a barrel in my backyard to do it, Ray, I would burn it too. I can't stand busting down boxes. And the packaging these days, it's incredible. There's like cardboard inside of cardboard boxes, separating things, and there's just so much of it.
Yeah,
So,
well, we can do it because I live out in the county. I don't live in in the San Antonio city limits.
yeah.
And Ray, you know what you can't do? You can't deliver cactus like you promised in episode 26.
Yeah, that's true. But he did deliver on the tortillas.
That was a little harder.
To me, he
He
did.
didn't deliver any
Yeah.
tortillas down here.
Yeah, and he got a sausage. What's it called? Chorizo. A pack of chorizo too. I think a couple of them.
Are you serious? Do you not come through Roanoke, Virginia at all?
Rarely.
He's probably coming right down the 81 this weekend.
I'm pulling up your ELD, but that's all there's to it. I'm going to schedule a PM on my yard.
Hey, speaking of dodging scales, I dodged a scale and I went right by your that loop around Roanoke. So
Yeah, that's
there is a
that's
way.
that's 1/10 of a mile from my office if you want
really,
on Orange
See,
Avenue.
and
Yeah.
and I thought about it, but
One
it's like if I call you, you probably won't answer a phone. So,
Wow.
Just be sure to come
He
in from the
slammed
south.
you.
Yeah. Well,
He got
When you
Austin
go to-
earlier. I was texting Austin too, giving him a hard time about it. He's like, I always answer Ray's calls. I said, no. He said you didn't. We'll talk about it in the morning.
When you go to Christian's office, though, be sure you come in from the south and not the north.
Yeah, don't come in on McDowell Avenue, or you'll be stuck right there next to the mechanic's office.
Oh man. Okay.
I don't know how much he's
Or
paying.
wipe out a car.
So
That's
Joel,
all right.
are you ready for Christmas?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got all your shopping done.
They're called gift cards.
Got the new wife.
Yeah.
Did you buy
Yeah,
her
what'd
something
you get
nice
the new
this year?
wife?
Yeah.
She's egging me on for a dog.
A dog. Okay.
Yeah. Puppy.
Well,
give you
I
mine.
think you should write that into a contract because the dog is going to be there every year. So you could get like 20 years out of not
You
having
could
to
get
worry about
multiple
Christmas.
Christmases
That's
out of
it.
that.
Just knock it out.
Yeah.
That's true. Remember way back in 2022?
What kind of dog are you looking at?
Probably something under 20 pounds.
No, it's not a dog.
maybe-
Oh,
He has a
cat.
pit bull that's a
Like
great dog.
it's
And
a
she
pit bull.
bought him
Yeah,
a couple years ago.
but something like
I got a
that.
50 pounder I want to get rid of.
So his pit bull, Christian, Ollie, he's
It's not a
deaf.
pit bull. It's
Oh,
half.
he's half pit bull. He's deaf. And Joel didn't know it till a few days after he got him.
Well,
Or a week. He figured it out.
Firecrackers by his head. He didn't.
But and when I spoke at his when I did my best man speech at his wedding, that was the last and final joke I had was about his dog being deaf, and
It's too dark in there. You couldn't read it.
he can't. Yeah, he doesn't or he can't repeat anything. Joel tries to get him to repeat everything he says or something. The joke was funny. I got booed out of the place.
That's great. That's great.
Everybody liked my other 4 jokes, but after that, I was booed out of there, which was kind of cool.
That's
great.
That second drink in. It's too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're bullying the animal.
I wasn't bullying Ollie. I like Ollie. It was just a wedding joke. But there was a lot of women there. They knew Ollie was deaf and they did not take kindly to me picking on Ollie. So I got booed.
Ollie's
But-
got a pretty good life. He eats popsicles. He'll be all right.
I got to say, Joel is a great dog owner. He spends a lot of time with him, hiking with him, running with him. Yeah, if you get another dog or your wife, you get one for your wife, it's going to be spoiled like Ollie. That'd be cool.
Is your dog more obedient to listen to you? That
He
sounds
can't hear.
That's not,
He's
what I, that's not what I meant. What I meant was because he can't hear, is he
kinda
more
like the-
obedient? Like, does he always look back for you? Like, is he calling me yet? Is he calling me yet? I mean, like,
No,
how do
I
you
just
take him for a
figured-
walk if he can't listen to a command? That's a serious question.
He watches me.
Okay.
I get him on a leash.
Oh,
He bumps into trees a lot.
Yeah,
So you can tug and stuff. You kind of get the feel of things.
He's deaf, not blind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
kind
he's
of like
always- he's
the
always
joke.
watching Joe, so he bumps into trees.
So it's kind of like the joke that Joel told last week about the something between your eyes that doesn't smell, and Christian didn't get it.
I appreciate
that was
you
one of
bringing
the
that up,
funniest
Russ.
moments on this show in 2 years.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And it was at my expense. Go figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. That needs to be made into a TikTok. I'm sorry, Kumar,
Yeah.
but
I'll work on that.
okay.
Thank you.
So,
So did
so
the
how about
Christians.
you, Mike? How's Christmas in Florida? Fake snowflakes. What do you got going on? Dodie.
Yeah, fake snowflakes.
Sorry.
Not much.
Yeah.
Not much at all. It'll be cold this
Warm. Does
Friday.
it feel like Christmas?
No.
No.
75
Yeah, I was
degrees.
in Vegas one year for Christmas and it was a little weird. I was like, this doesn't feel right. It was
Yeah.
like 60 degrees out.
It is weird when you live up north where it's cold and snowy usually every Christmas and then you're down in Florida. It's got to be a little
Do you
different.
guys have real trees or fake trees in your house,
Fake.
or any tree at all?
Up here, you mean, or any of us?
Yeah, in your house. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've always had a real tree until 2 years ago. It just became such a mess to clean
Yeah.
up and all that and dragging it in.
Was that the COVID year?
I think so, somewhere around there. So we went online and ordered a fake tree with the lights, all that. You just literally pop it up and it's pretty big
Yeah.
and then plug it in. Bam.
Nice.
It's nice. Yeah. What about you?
So we did real trees all the time. And then COVID year, we did a Charlie Brown tree and we kept it because it made the gifts look so much bigger. And the kids thought it was easier to set up. So we're not arguing with them. So
Yeah.
the gifts look a lot bigger under a small tree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I like the fake one.
Yep.
All right. So, Kumar, do you got some trucking news for us? You got a
Yeah.
picture of trucks with some wreaths on the front of them for Christmas? That's what I heard.
Nothing like I got pictures of trucks, but you'll find out about that. Just one sec. Oh, I gotta continue. Talk amongst yourself for a minute.
What about you guys? Kevin, Nate, Ray, Creech? You got a wreath on the front of your truck?
No.
None of you?
No.
No.
I'm more of a
decorate the
Halloween
house.
decoration type of person than I am a Christmas decoration type of person.
It is funny. Tom called me at Halloween, and he said he kind of said some words I can't say on here without a truck horn. We need a truck horn. He said, Nate. He said,
Wow. That's just, I'm sorry. You should start over. Say it again, Russ.
it's a truck horn. It'll be covered. But this is, I'm quoting Tom. He said, Nate, what's the big deal about, he said he's off for the whole week. I said, Tom, don't you remember? This is every year. He doesn't take off on Christmas. He doesn't care about the other holidays. Halloween is his deal. He has a coffin set up in his front yard. He pops up out of the coffin and scares little kids. That's his thing all week long. Isn't that true, Nate?
Well, I'm not so sure about the coffin part, but yes, I love Halloween. Halloween's my favorite holiday. I mean, I like Christmas growing up as a kid, but I mean, what other kid didn't, you know? I mean, hell, you got gifts all day long, but I don't know, I just like, I'm really into horror movies and stuff like that. And Halloween's just always been my favorite holiday of the year. It's my favorite season of the year.
What did you dress up as?
This year is actually the first year I didn't do anything. I didn't paint my face. I didn't do anything. Generally, all I do is just, I'll paint my face differently every year.
Yeah.
So I didn't do anything this year.
No
honestly.
characters, huh?
But you love it.
Oh, I
Took a
love
week
it.
off.
I love Halloween. I love going to haunted houses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like I've always wanted to go to Orlando to Universal, and because every year they do what they call Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
And they actually have haunted houses set up inside Universal, and they have Hollywood cinematic makeup artists come down and do all the makeup for all the people in the haunted houses that are supposed to be scaring. So, yeah,
That's interesting.
Give them
Yeah.
alcohol too.
All right, you guys ready for the news?
We're ready for the news. Had that Halloween update by Nate.
All right. So Texas
That in
troopers
Texas?
begin.
Yep.
Yep. Texas troopers begin new campaign of enhanced random CMV inspections. This is in an effort to deter human and drug smuggling. What do you guys think about
So
that?
what are they doing? Ramping up inspections
Yeah, just like random inspections.
to look for drugs
Yeah,
or human trafficking?
drugs and human trafficking.
On 18-wheelers or everybody?
Shows tractor trailers.
Does it say probably down in the valley? You know, probably. I'm sure.
Yeah. Well,
Down
I'm
by
sure you
Ray's
guys
house.
are hearing what's going on in El Paso too right now.
No, I didn't. What's going
Yeah,
on in
this-
El Paso?
There's people crossing over by the thousands on a daily basis or something like that. It's been on the news. I don't know if that's in your news today, but yeah,
No,
Are they
I didn't
vaccinated?
see that.
pretty bad.
Let's go,
Brandon.
They had a cost
So
on the
watch when
bottom
you're
of that.
down in the valley. If you're picking up in Laredo and stuff, make sure your equipment's clean. Kumar says they're doing a lot more inspections.
And
Yep.
keep the humans out of the cargo.
Keep the cocaine at home.
Inspect your trailers if you're picking up a trailer that was loaded in Mexico, because that happens a lot.
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and then
It had a seal on it.
next on the news, these cab over maternity pictures will make you say, "What the truck?"
What the truck?
So I guess wives of truck drivers are now taking maternity
Maternity.
pictures with the truck. So you can see this one right here.
So like that's her husband's truck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, and I guess she's taking a picture with it because it.
that's kind of cool.
A neat truck.
But I can't get to the next.
Doesn't have a sleeper.
Speaking of cab overs, I had a friend. This was years ago, probably in the late 70s. He's an older guy. He worked for a local union company up here. Most of his life, he retired there, but he was on the dock. But the reason he got on the dock, he said, he was a truck driver for the first couple of years or the first year. But as he drove the cab over down the road, he was local. When he did his pre-trip, he forgot to secure the cab. So when he got on the highway, he had to hit his brakes. And the cab, he said, the next thing I know, I was looking at the pavement. He said, I had my seatbelt on, so I was still just sitting there in the seat. But and they took him out of the truck. He worked on the dock for the next 30 years.
Is this the same guy and same wife just taking different photos?
No, I think this guy's just doing a commentary on this whole thing.
Can't wait to talk to my wife about this.
The only way I could show the other pictures.
Peterbilt prison.
Yeah.
But next up, Love's opens some new truck stops in 4 states, adding 290 new parking spots. So they're going to be located in Morris, Illinois, Lancaster, Ohio, Loudon, Tennessee, and Carthage, Texas. So you got a little bit more room to park now. Next up, we got sauerkraut was strewn along campsite after a trucker plows down embankment. He's okay. Just feels a little sour about it. But yeah, I just thought that was pretty funny. A lot of sauerkraut, and
I love sauerkraut.
I think they spent like all day trying to clean it up. So
It's got the ants.
and next up, we got this man. He was arrested for breaking in a sleeping couple's semi.
Is that Ian's brother?
looks like Ian.
Ian with
Oh my
long hair.
gosh.
Of course, it was a Florida man.
What do you mean?
Man.
But yeah, he forced his way into a semi truck that was already occupied by a man and his girlfriend.
So what happened?
Yeah, what happened?
Victims later told police that he told them that he needed the truck and then began to try the gas pedal. He turns out he just wanted to get away from everybody. So he
I would
decided
have strangled him with the seatbelt.
Yeah.
You just want to get away from things?
I guess steal somebody's truck for it. And then next up, there's a companion laser focused companion bill to the Truck Parking Safety Improvement Act introduced in Senate. It's aimed to create more safe and free parking for drivers.
So is this part of that bill?
Can
you expand on that?
Yeah, I just pulled this up not too long ago. I didn't get to dive deep into it. The legislation would allow $755 in competitive grant funding to expand free truck parking across the
I
country.
bet that's supposed to say million there.
Yeah.
I was going to
Yeah.
say.
So can you scroll up to the top because it said free up top, but then it says 755 million below it.
That's let's see, legislation.
That was a joke about free money from the government.
Oh, I see. Sorry, went over my head.
Right between your eyes. Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, that's about it. More than 15% of funds can be used.
For
Okay.
maintenance. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have looked into this a little bit more.
So no more than 15% of funds can be used for what? For the truck parking part?
That's
Can
for
be used
maintenance of existing rest
upkeep.
areas.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
and maintenance of existing rest areas.
did they estimate how many parking spots they could create?
No, it doesn't say, but it looks like it's all, yeah, most of the money will be going towards strictly just making more truck parking.
Yeah, on private truck lots. Okay.
Hmm.
Four paid parking spots per truck stop?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there it is. It does say million at the bottom there, so we are correct. The government was
Okay.
giving out more than $755.
Just per spot.
All right, well, that pretty much wraps it up for me.
So truck parking is a huge thing. We always talk about it. We always complain about it as drivers. So, I don't know much about that bill. Do you, Christian?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I know this is going to continue to be a problem that they continue to try to face. There's a lot of vacant parking out there. I'm not saying it's safe. I'm not saying that they have auxiliary, power out there or anything else, but we're dumping a ton of money into infrastructure without any kind of global strategized plan from what it looks like. I mean, I'm glad OIDA and the rest of people are getting involved, but
yeah, at least we're starting to hear about it on a higher level, even on the news.
yeah,
I've heard it mentioned about truck parking more lately than ever. So, I mean, that is a good thing, I guess. But yeah, a couple things we want to talk about. Avoiding tolls. So, Mike, when you were on the road, did you avoid tolls? You were an owner operator, so it had to be important.
What is that
to your bottom line?
I did. I didn't run tolls a whole lot because I didn't. But when I was in, so from like Ohio to Chicago, I would drop down and miss some of those tolls sometimes, depending on the time of day too, man, because I would get irritated with a lot of those lights and traffic when you drop down. What is that? Is that
well, it's through Chicago Heights you're talking about.
US 30.
No, when you go from
US
like
30.
Indiana, when you're going say from Indiana to Ohio or from Chicago,
Well, you're hitting
going
30
across
to go
80
across.
there. Is it?
Yeah, it's 30 across, but
It runs across the Fort Wayne, comes out in Massillon over in 71 to 71.
yeah, the Lodi truck stops over there.
Yeah.
Just by there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is some lights there is some truck stops over there too, though. Because I used to run that all the time, and sometimes I'd run out of hours halfway across or whatever, and there was there's I don't know how many, but there's several truck stops along 30 from I would get on in Illinois and then run it all the way across. Joel and I would go down through Chicago Heights, but that's the only place. Chicago Heights is busy, so there's a section there, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 miles. It is wall-to-wall traffic and lights and stuff.
Low bridges.
Yeah, and low bridges too over there. You got to watch that coming through Chicago Heights. But yeah, running 30 across, there's a few lights. It's not too bad, but it's
Only
I
on
don't
the Indiana
know
side.
if that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, the Indiana side. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
Indiana for sure.
Indiana side is real kind of slow moving. You got towns and lights and speed limits about 60, I believe. Once you hit Ohio, it's open wide.
Yeah, and the speed limit goes up. I think
But other than that, I really didn't. Where I ran and stuff, I didn't. But, I stayed out of PA for the most part, and the Northeast. And
PA is the most expensive. I think we all know that. I-80 across PA. What I used to do is run to State College, where that school over there is.
Small Penn State. Yeah, I've heard of it.
They're
in the Rose Bowl. I'm not sure.
Yeah, 322. You'd take 80 to 322 in State College, and then you could cut down to Harrisburg, right? Ray? I think.
Yeah.
If you stay on that 322,
just north of Harrisburg. Yeah.
It's not that many more miles, but it's way more time consuming. It took up to me in a semi, maybe not in a car, but I used to run that a lot from right over here near Medina, Ohio. I'd pick up and run to Harrisburg, and I went that way because I had to avoid tolls. The company I was working with years ago, I wasn't an owner operator, but at that time, but I remember it taking me, it was like 300 and some miles up roughly to Harrisburg.
Yeah, but they've opened up that 322 since, so it's
maybe this was
now.
years ago, so maybe it was a 2-lane road then. So
yeah, it's
it
much
was
better now.
a lot of hills and little turns. It wasn't bad. It was time consuming for me.
That last bypass they put in there, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
Just before the big hill.
So see that's all new then. I wouldn't. I didn't.
Are you talking about the one that's over there towards Northumberland and Sunbury? They just completed that one too. That takes you off. It takes you off Route 147 over in Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Well, when you go down Interstate, was that 96 or something, whatever, down to 322, and you go in, and that first town, you drop down in that valley, and you had to climb that steep hill with the 2 lanes. There's a bypass around that now.
Yeah,
that saves a lot of time.
Oh,
I just ran that yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
That's why I go most of the time.
But that was a way I would avoid the toll if I was going to Harrisburg. If I was going past Harrisburg, I would go the other way, like down 70. I'd come across into PA, 76 in Ohio, and then into PA, and I'd hit 79, go 79 south to 68, and then run across the 68.
Cumberland Pass.
Yeah. But you know what's weird about 68? And I know you drivers know, there's a stoplight on that highway. Do you know where I'm talking about? It's like you come into a town on 68 at the bottom of a hill.
Yeah,
and
that's Cumberland.
That's Cumberland. Yeah.
That's Cumberland.
Cumberland, yeah.
That's the weirdest thing. And I used to always freak myself out when I was heavy coming across there because I never knew exactly where it was. And I come up over a hill looking for it. And I was always creeping, especially when I was heavy, because I want to make sure I could stop or it wasn't backed up. But yeah, go that way if I was avoiding, if I was going further in, because then you hit 81. I think you can hit 81 off of 68, right?
Yeah.
Is that 81? Anyone know?
68 to 70 south, and then I'm sorry, 70 east,
And then 81.
81.
Yeah. And that'll get you pretty much, you can get to most points east from there.
Yeah.
PA, what is it? Almost $200 to run the turnpike, to run 76 across from.
It's more than that. It's more than that now.
Is
It's
it?
more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about going from Ohio all the way to New Jersey?
Yeah.
No,
The whole way.
yeah.
That's like 370.
Yep.
Yes, it sounds
it's up
about
there.
right.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I know
and
one
there-
of our drivers was saying he spent like over $700 in
Tolls
tolls just this week or just this past week.
running around in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got to
it's-
avoid tolls.
Yeah, some of that's routing. You have to pull it up and see what's best for you. And I mean, I know the tool that we use, and you guys know, I won't mention the name, but they're using a Google Map routing, which isn't really helping for a TMS provider, so
Yeah.
to speak. But the other part is, are you using pre-pass or a toll discount, rather than just running cash to tolls? And that does make a significant difference.
Well, and as a dispatcher, that's one of the, I don't care who it is, company driver, our owner ops, these, you guys are seasoned. How to avoid tolls, and you know why, because it comes out of your pocket. But, I get on the phone with anybody because if it's a company driver, man, first thing I'm asking them if they're running into the Northeast or somewhere like, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois. Well, do you at tolls, avoid tolls in your GPS? Because no one's thinking about that if they're not paying for it. You got to ask, as a dispatcher, you got to ask.
So I have one of my old drivers that called me the other week looking for a job. He worked for a place called ShipX out in Utah, and they would have a route deviation tool. And so he was taking a different route, and they asked why. And he said, well, because I don't want to spend the tolls going that direction. So, you can justify your existence.
Yeah.
But they do look at it. So their routing is the routing they want you to take. Right. So they're ahead of the game saying, hey, look, if you're routing, you should be routing with tolls because it's going to save you time to make the delivery versus not. So just something.
Well, you got to weigh that in the, in your mind, you got to weigh that. Can I still make my delivery if I avoid these tolls?
Yeah.
But if you're going to spend,
$80 on 12 miles.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to spend $400 to get across, Indiana, Ohio, and part of Pennsylvania, that's coming out of the month. This is a time where freight rates are down and fuel is up. You got to think about that. I don't care what kind of driver you are.
Yeah. And as Ian mentioned,
rarely brokers will even pay for that. They won't.
They're not negotiating on that.
No.
Yeah, they're not negotiating on.
They don't want to hear it. If you, if you're negotiating on a rate, I've thrown that out. I do it every time if I know there's tolls, but they don't care.
That was the biggest deception of 3PLs is when they went away from an itemized rate confirmation, right? When you could request your fuel surcharge and your tolls and your accessorials to be listed. Now you still can, but you have a bunch of college graduates that are like, oh, no, I got to take the time to do this and put it inside there, and then they need to get approval. It's like, well, there's a reason for it. And I think if they understood the true cost, and maybe it's not a care, when they're doing their bid packs, they're not taking that in consideration. They're looking at what the market's telling them. They're not looking at the cost, like Ian said. Pennsylvania toll roads are not going to get any cheaper year over year. They're going to continue to grow. So
yeah.
Now I got an example of some
go ahead.
that I'm on. Okay, so I picked up in Battle Creek you booked me this load right here, Russell. So I picked up in Battle Creek and running to Davins, Massachusetts. So what I did was I basically ran through Michigan, and when I come down to Toledo on the 23,
Mhm.
I ran the loop around Toledo and grabbed the 2, and I ran the 2 all the way to hit the 90. So I ran all the way along the Lake Erie. and
Lake
all that
Erie,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a good route. It used to be way worse back in the day, but it's actually not bad today.
It's not a
It
bad
used
route.
to be really rough.
It used to be really
Road.
slow too. That was-
Yeah. It's opened up. I think it kind of just slows down. You know where that nuclear power plant is down there?
yeah.
You know, once you pass that, I say you go about another 30, 40 miles and it opens up.
So you're
What
talking
kinda-
about on the west side of Ohio, the Perry nuclear
On
power
the
plant?
I forget the name of that place, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
on
Perry.
the east side of Toledo.
Oh, that
off-
one. Okay. Yeah, there's another one over there. I was
What
thinking.
kind of what kind of banging rate did you get on that 850 miles, Russ?
Man, it wasn't great, but I
I just want
honestly,
to hear you say the word Massachusetts. That's all I want.
No,
to
I'm
to
not
pry
saying
out of
it.
you.
But
I'll
Ray
tell you what he got. It's 2,500.
2,500.
Yeah.
But it
Yep.
wasn't great. But we needed to get Ray to Ayers, Mass for a customer load,
Yeah. So you got
and I got him. Ray, I got you within 7 miles, didn't I?
I don't know. I really don't know where the other
Yeah,
location
I think
is
you're
at.
7 miles away.
not bragging, but that's less than 10. That's really good.
7 miles away.
And then you pick up customer
And then
freight,
I
paying good
bumped
money
him.
coming
Yeah.
out. Yeah, nice.
And then I bumped him, and I knew we had a decent rate coming out.
Yeah.
And I bumped the guy. I said, "Man, I'm taking this load that's going to a garbage place, you know." And that's what I was telling him. Who's going to get me out of Mass? Do you have a load? And he didn't have a load.
Yep.
I said, "You know that market's bad," and he bumped. He
Yeah.
bumped pretty good. So
That's great.
Yeah, it's 25 on 850 miles.
yeah,
I
it
can't
wasn't
complain.
terrible, I guess.
Yeah.
Avoid the tolls.
Ray, he did avoid the tolls. That's what he's talking about. He took
Yeah.
Route 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, the tolls on the other side of that story, I'm actually running the 90 through New York, so I'm willing
you're
to pay
paying
those
them.
tolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much is that costing you?
It's all the way across. It's probably gonna be about like maybe 50, 60 bucks, something like that.
Excuse
All
me.
the way across 90?
Yeah.
It was more than that.
Yeah.
Is
I
it
thought
more
it
than that?
was-
Okay.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, it's more than
Close
that.
to-
It'd be about 125
I
or
was gonna say
150.
140 bucks. Yeah.
Well, I got you a good
Just
rate, Ray.
Right.
State of New York.
So what's the weight on that? What's the weight on that run?
It's a load to scale load.
Okay.
No, it's 35,000.
Oh,
Okay.
was it? Well,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
booked it. They said it was load to scale. So
So they paid load
Yeah.
to scale.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad at all.
that's good.
But going that route across there, it takes up too much fuel to go around the toll road in New York.
I agree.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
you.
because the money that I'm going to spend on the toll road running across the 90, I would have burned that up in fuel running to 86.
If I remember correctly, there's not an easy way to avoid that 90 in New York. You're just there's a lot more miles added.
You can go across 80 and then come back
Up
up.
through Newburgh.
Yeah, through Newburgh like that.
Yeah,
But then you got the fuel cost. It's better off just getting on the.
It's almost as
through
many
right
miles
road.
as it is dollars. So it doesn't
Yeah.
really make sense. So yeah, Ray's taking the right route and you know
Yeah.
what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Where's it going from Ayers? Where's it going from there?
South Carolina.
Okay, cool.
That's not cheap.
Oh, that's the one we talked about the other day. Yeah, that is a good run.
Yeah.
That's what we talked about.
So
the other
putting the
day.
two together on,
No. Yep.
what, 3? So he'll be on that, 4 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
yeah,
doing
and
pretty
I
good.
picked,
That's-
I picked up this morning, and I'll have this delivered tomorrow before noon.
And Ray, if you can't pick up that Massachusetts load, you just call me.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah.
so
Deal.
the cool thing is when I was looking for a load to get him to that customer load that we already had, the load that he's on now picked up. So I'm losing track of my days, but it picked up. When did you pick it up, Ray? This morning?
Yeah, because
Right.
it took him a long time to unload me yesterday, so it had to be this
Right.
morning. I called the broker. He said I could grab it first thing in the morning.
So I made a
8
mistake.
o'clock.
I thought Austin told me that Ray was empty, right? But then I'm on the phone and I had already negotiated it, and then I'm booking the load, and then I got Ray on the phone, and Ray told me, no, I'm 54 miles out from my delivery, and I knew right then. I'm like, man, I told the guy, I said he's not going to make it. Can you find out how long they'll stay open? here was the thing. It was only 40 miles deadhead from where he was at in Michigan to go get it.
Yeah.
So I told the guy, hey, originally it would have been their appointment. It would have been like Ray was empty. If he was empty, I thought he was. He would have been right on the appointment, which was within an hour of now. Well, when I found out he wasn't empty and I thought he was, told the guy, I said, look, can you go find out if they'll stay, how late they stay? Will they work him in? He can still make delivery no matter what happens. It's Friday. I think it's Friday morning. Right, Ray? I'm trying to make sure I got all this right.
Yeah, it's an all-day window by.
It was an all-day window on a delivery. So the guy said he was cool. He said, yeah, let me go check. We came back to me and said, no, by the time we've estimated when Ray would get there based on a 2-hour delivery window, and he's 54 miles out. There's no way he could have picked it up that day. Right. So the guy's like, sorry, man, I guess we'll have to find another truck. I said, wait a minute. The appointment's in 45 minutes. How are you going to find another truck? I said that's slim to none. You know that, and I know that. Call your customer and ask them if what happens if you don't find another truck. Are they going to push it till tomorrow morning? Can we load it tomorrow morning?
We'll be a work-in, right?
And he said, hang on. And he called them, and they said, yeah, we moved it. And actually, Ray, you didn't have any trouble getting loaded that morning, did you?
No, I didn't. But I also called the broker because I wasn't sure what happened. All I did was receive the email without any information. So I called the broker to ask for details, and I told him I'm not going to make it by 5. I said, but I can load in the morning. He said, yeah, that was actually the plan. I already
had all that worked out.
So who was the dispatcher? Yeah. You were Austin that didn't communicate with Ray.
Well, when I'm booking a truck, I was helping, and when I'm booking a truck, I need the driver to be like, I need to talk to him if I need to talk to him.
Yep.
Especially, Ray and I have been doing this for almost a decade together. Yeah. Usually a lot of times I'll put him on 3-way with me when I'm calling on stuff. And then sometimes I don't even tell them. Most of the time, I don't even tell them he's there. And then when they ask me for the driver's phone number in the truck and trailer, I'm like, hey, Ray, can you give your, and they're usually surprised. And Ray's, so that's kind of how we do it. I have a habit of doing that just because, and sometimes it's fun, Ray, right? We have a good time with it sometimes with the two of us on the phone. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we got off on that tangent, but it was kind of a fun. I like how that happened though. Instead of just letting the load go, you got to think, all right, what can I do to make this work? And I thought right away, you're not going to find another truck in 45 minutes to make that appointment. You already told me they close at 5 and it's 2:00 now. What happens if can he just pick it up in the morning? Ask your customer, and he did, and we got it.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Would you have asked for a $150 layover on top of that, knowing that the guy's going to blow through the appointment, and to see if he was going to balk on $150? Would you have continued to push that envelope? I mean, the rate that he has is a pretty solid rate. I mean, would you risk not picking up your customer's freight for $150 and try to push that envelope?
No.
Me neither. Me neither. No, because I'm not going through all that work the next day to be 200 miles away from the delivery. If it was 200 miles away from the delivery, that's different.
Yeah.
Layover for the one they just pushed, you're saying?
Yeah, the one that they said that he couldn't make it there in time for the next morning. I mean, that in the past I've done it and it's worked out sometimes, and other times I spend 4 hours the next day trying to cover the same truck for worse freight. So in this market, I wouldn't have done it anyway.
Yeah, no, and I'm only kidding. Maybe I would have in the past too, but hey, we're gonna hold the truck for you.
Yeah. Because Bangor, Maine would have been the next closest place if that would have happened to me,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and there was a truck stop a mile away, literally a mile away from the pickup. So I went to a truck stop and had me a good dinner. They had a steak there, dinner there.
Ray always finds a good dinner. It always works out.
Yeah, he's not worried about toll costs if he's eating steak dinners on the road.
Because if I was the broker, I'd flip it around. I'd say, man, I'm already holding the load for you. I was going to find another truck 10 minutes ago, and you wanted me to ask if I could wait till the morning. What are you talking about?
I know, Mike, but I made a mistake. I thought he was empty. He's not. But I'm being straightforward with you.
Absolutely. But the broker would have been honest with you and said, well, my customer's going to create a late delivery late pickup fee. So if you'll take it, I can do it for $2,400.
Yeah, I got one other option that can pick up today, though. But I would hold it because yours is a little closer to my driver than that other.
Exactly. There you go. It flows so smooth. It's crazy.
So, Creech, you live in Roanoke, right? Isn't that where you're from? Over there by Christian?
Martinsville.
Martinsville.
An hour south of him.
Okay.
If you want to come to Roanoke for a good time, you go to Martinsville to get shot.
You
no, that's Danville or Pulaski.
Oh, geez, I'm so sorry. Yeah,
you run the Northeast a lot though, and here and there, not all the time, but right. You've come up.
I run far more west, but it used to do Northeast all the time.
That's what I mean. You've had your experiences running up and down the Northeast.
Yeah.
So how would you? Do you have any tips on if you were coming up like? I wrote something down. I had to look this one up because I think I ran this and I couldn't remember how I did it. Someone told me, but from coming out of Virginia on the 95 into the Northeast, do you have any ways that you would do it to try and avoid some tolls, save some money? I know you can't avoid them all coming up 95.
Basically, I don't even bother trying to avoid the New Jersey Turnpike until I want to say it's exit 10, which is 87 or 287, and then I'll run that the rest of the way, assuming I'm having to go north of New York City. Pick up 287, shoot that across on.
Keep going to the left, TA.
Breaker 19 for a northbound 77. Come on.
For a good buddy.
Who's looking for a good buddy out there?
Creech.
Yeah, that just threw me off.
Yeah.
So radio's been quiet all day and bless on you.
It took me about 15 minutes to figure this out. But if you're running the Northeast, I did this one time and someone gave me the directions. I had to look it up on the map today to figure out because it's been a long time. So if you're coming out of Virginia on 95 into the Northeast, to avoid the Fort McHenry tunnel, the Maryland toll and the Delaware toll by taking the US 301 and 30150 east over the Bay Bridge, then follow 301 north along eastern shore of Maryland. There's only one toll and you're avoiding three. And that'll save you some money and it's not a bad ride.
No,
it
depends on traffic. Yeah, traffic is
the
only thing you're going to run into up there certain hours.
Yeah. So do you know where I'm talking about now, Creech?
Yeah.
You were going north into Jersey and then taking 287, right? Creech.
I think
and
so.
then to go over to the Northeast, don't you go over the Tappan Zee Bridge?
No, Bobblehead Bridge, as I call it. Yeah.
I think it's called the Tappan Zee.
It used to be the Tappan Zee. Now it's the
chimpanzee
Mario Cuomo Bridge.
Oh, okay. That was back when I used to run up in that area. Of course, back when I run up in there, that was pre 9/11, and I was pulling a covered wagon with a cab over, and I did New York City for 4 years, every week, and I'd go down through the Holland Tunnel, and it cost me $7.50, and it's nothing to come out.
What's it cost now? 75 or?
You can't go through the Holland Tunnel.
Oh, okay.
Of course, you couldn't go with a 13.6 trailer anyway. You had to be under 12.6, I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
Now you got to go over the bridges, and they're like $150, $175, like the George Washington.
Yeah.
GW Bridge is 145 one way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I think it was like 90 last time I went over.
Wow. Going over
Of course, we used to take wide loads in there, but we only went to like 102 was normal. So you go to 108, 110, something like that. So, and when you go across them bridges to go into the city, you're routed across the GW, and then you have to get off at Amsterdam, I believe it is, and go down and run the back streets only between midnight and 5 a.m.
Mm.
So we just tarped it loose and we stayed on the interstate. You couldn't see how wide we was because the tarp was flopping.
Yeah. The couple other tolls you guys might be able to help me out with, you too, Christian. The Jersey area, these are notes I found. So on avoiding tolls on this part of certain parts of the country, you run the 9 to the 295. Is that, you know where that's at, Christian? I know you're from that area. Yeah.
Not driving an 18-wheeler up there.
No. You wouldn't do that. So we don't take that advice.
No, my advice is cut off the Northeast out right now if you can. Just pretty simple.
Yeah.
If you got customers coming in and out, that's fine. But
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, right now where things are at. Yeah.
The I-44 to the Oklahoma Turnpike. I used to always pay it, but I know it's went up. I don't know exactly what it is for an 18-wheeler now, but Nate, you avoid that at times, don't you? Or you know how to?
I honest to God, I've never took 44 all the way from the Missouri state line all the way to Oklahoma City.
So how'd
I've
you
always
jump off?
gotten off.
Give Ray back his phone.
Exit 283.
When I go down,
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Explain that again.
Okay.
On your phone.
So 23 big cabin exit and then just turn left and it's 69. You take it all the way to 40.
Okay. So it's not that much out of route miles wise.
No.
Yeah.
No.
yeah, I don't even run that part of the toll road. When
So how
I
do
get
you do
over
it?
there, so when I go down 44, I'll get off and head south to
49.
what is that through? Is that 69? No, not 69.
49.
Goes down and then you go across Highway 6, I think it is.
Ray said 49. Is that what you're talking about, Jim?
49.
Yeah.
You go down to I can't think the name of that town now, Neosho. And you go to the east on, I believe it's 6. And you go through Seneca and over that way and catch, instead of going all the way to Big Cabin area, you take 82 or 28 south and 82 east and brings you in at Pryor. And it's good roads. You just got to be sure and watch your speeds down through there because you're going through some reservations that the tribal police don't like trucks going fast.
Isn't there like a 77 or 71 over there too that you can come? It runs north and south in Oklahoma.
69.
Is it 69? I'm thinking of.
Yeah, 69.
Okay.
They used to be. It's really rough in a lot of several places down through there, but it used to be all like 2-lane roads, but they've got a lot of 4 lanes now. And
So
also right there at the Oklahoma-Texas line, they're building new scales. So they're going to get a little more strict on that. They got to pay for the scale, you know.
So Jim, you're always avoiding the 44 toll road.
Oh, I never go on. I don't go on any toll road unless I absolutely have to.
Yeah. I'm the same way, but there was a few, like I said, the Oklahoma Turnpike, if the 44, I didn't avoid that one. I always took it. I mean, I probably should have now that I think about it, looking back. Nate, you might know about this. I found something online in a trucker group that I'm in. Louisville to Indiana, there's a toll just across into Indiana.
Yeah, the toll bridge. They built the bridge and turned it into a toll bridge, which it was under my understanding that they quote unquote rebuilt the bridge, didn't build a new bridge, and I thought that existing road couldn't be turned into toll road. I thought that was, a law, but evidently they turned that bridge into a toll bridge, even though it was a part of 65 to begin with. The only way to get around it now is to go 264. And you can go across the other bridge and get around it because that bridge is toll road.
Is that acceptable?
The one to the west. You got to go to the west on 264. If you go east, you're still going to cross the bridge.
Yes.
Right.
Yep. And now they're actually working on making all of the bridges in between Louisville and Indiana toll bridges.
So you can avoid.
There is a way. There is a way.
Passing
you go in on 65. You can. I've had a bad time getting a connection here. But if you go down 65, you can get off and cross over a bridge downtown. I'm pretty sure it's a truck route. I think it's 301 or something like that. I can't remember, but it runs like right next to it, about 3 or 4 blocks over, and you can go around that toll bridge. But it isn't worth the hassle for, what is it, like $13 to cross that bridge.
Well, I think
yeah,
that's what it is.
I read online today that the Louisville to Indiana one that I was talking about is $27. Is that right? Do you know?
That might be paid by mail or something.
It is.
I think it's like
I've been
13
using
or $14.
Yeah, I thought it was $10.
Okay. The other West Virginia Turnpike, I never avoided that. First of all, I've seen some movies about West Virginia, and I'm not getting off the highway. And
Yeah,
second,
Well, the only way to go around that toll road is to go up and go across what is that, 50 through Hawks Nest?
Yeah. And that's
You don't want to do that.
Well, and
you can read your license plate on your trailer on that road.
Yeah, and I've always heard from drivers, you know, when I was on the road, drivers that from that area that would avoid the toll, they would do it if they were light but not heavy. But I would never do it. I always stayed on the West Virginia Turnpike. How much is that toll now? Does anyone know?
For all three of them, it is 42 combined. I think it's 14 per toll.
14 and a quarter.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, 14 and a quarter. Yep. My driver Michael went around that toll several months back, and I asked him. I said, how much longer did it take you to go around it? He said it cost him about 3 hours.
I believe it.
And here's the thing.
Am I the only one hearing this? Am I the only one hearing this?
Oh, man.
I know what I'm getting you guys for Christmas. It's a new phone.
We're all just taking turns with the signal.
They're all just taking turns with Ray's phone is what's going on.
Yeah.
When they built that
driver lounge.
Interstate
in
68,
Texas.
I think it is. It goes from Berkeley over Sandstone.
Yeah.
When they built that, the paving joints come out of Iowa, Maquoketa, Iowa, and that's where I was working at, right there.
Yeah.
And to deliver them, we had to go over Hawks Nest and come back up. And man, that was an all-day thing. Because of course, back then, our big motor was a 350 Cummins.
I remember running, Joel, when we ran teams. Do you remember running 68 out of was that Philip Morris, the cigarette place we used to pick up at?
Was that Maryland?
It was Virginia, I think.
Richmond,
Virginia.
Richmond. We would pick up there, and we had, it's a high value load, so we would have to drive like 4 hours before you could stop.
Yeah.
And we would run up 68. We'd get almost up, somewhere close to, I think 77, and then that's when you could stop. That first stop to take a breather.
can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
That toll on the West Virginia Turnpike, there is a way to save yourself $14.25 on one of the three, but it depends on where you're going. If you're going east, if you're going east, you can just take 64 over to 81. But if you're going south, you have no way of avoiding it. You'd add too much time.
Yeah.
And it also depends on which way you're going once you get to Charleston, because you can get off in Beckley and hop US 19.
Yep.
You don't want to take 19.
US 19.
Kevin?
Yeah, US 19.
You don't want to take 19.
Is it pretty
US
bad?
19 is the one, is the 4-lane we were on before we got off of US 19 and then cut over to Charleston that night. That's the road you're thinking about.
19's not any better.
Yeah, I agree with Kevin on that.
These two convoy all the
19
time.
is not
so-
any better.
Okay, so here's.
How
I'm
was it,
currently on
Kevin?
I mean, honestly, I've not been on 19 since I was a kid, but my dad used to travel on 19 all the time before 77 was built.
Well, US 19's 4-lane now, and you can run US 19 from 77 to 79, and it's not bad.
Mountains. It's all
19's
mountains, right?
19's all smooth.
Is it?
West
Yeah, I mean,
Virginia's
it-
nothing but mountains.
Well, the only other toll road I think we didn't cover is
The one I'm on.
is the Florida one.
Okay, never
On
mind.
coast.
Which one are you on, Creech?
70 in Kansas.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Joel,
there's a way
I don't-
around that one.
I forgot about that's a
That's
short
what I was
one.
wondering.
That's a short one. I just pay.
There's a way around that, but it's too much hassle with stoplights and like that. you're better off paying the $10 or whatever.
That's what I was going to say. We would always take it. But I remember when we were green teaming, first year driving, I got up in the passenger seat. Joel comes to the toll booth, and he had a debit card, and they only took cash. They probably take cards now, right? I think everybody does, but
no, some of them do.
well, they
Not
didn't take cards. You remember that, Joel?
Yeah.
And Joel's out the window, and he's not yelling, but the lady's like, "Sorry, we only take cash." And he's like, "Well, what do you want me to do? I don't have an ATM in here." And he could, he's telling her about his delivery. He could not wrap his head around why they wouldn't take his card. And did we have to leave your license, Joel, and go get it?
No.
Well, oh, they just took your information. Okay.
Yeah, I think they got time.
I think they got tired of Joel arguing with them about the cash or the
Good
card.
job, Joel. Well played,
They finally
Joel.
let us
Well
go.
played.
I was cracking up.
Coming back from Ohio, actually on the way up and coming back through whatever West Virginia there.
Yeah.
I rarely have cash on me, and
Did they still only take cash there? I know that's how it was.
Yeah, they got to give me, they got to write something up, get my tag and all that crap. And then I assume they'll bill me or something. But yeah, I'm
sure
like, you
they
guys
will
do know
eventually.
it's like 2023, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
By the time, that was my whole point back years ago. Mike, so you'll get a bill in a year, and it'll be plus interest and all that. So
Yeah,
probably
right.
double what the toll, triple what the toll was.
Like, we're almost to the point where I can stick my arm out and you can scan my wrist and it'll charge me. Like, you
Right.
guys are still taking cash.
A retina scan you can take, just look into this thing. It charge your
When you
bank
start
account.
getting a retirement, you'll see the deduction out of there.
Yeah.
There's still one toll that is a pain in the Mackinac Bridge up onto the UP.
The Mackinac Bridge you pay at the end. I didn't go across it in a truck ever, but I did. I recently went across it with the RV this year, and there is a toll at the end.
Michigan.
Yeah, and there was
They
a couple
don't-
trucks that went across when I did.
They don't take Easy Pass, and they don't take card.
They took. It was cash. I remember that. You're right. What about?
I got cussed out the night I went over that.
Yeah, Michigan people don't play. What about the Sun Pass or the Sun Pike, Mike, down there in Florida?
The Sun Coast.
I didn't run in Florida very often, very few times, but I did a few times, and I took that turnpike.
Yeah,
Is there ways to avoid that?
There's ways around that, but in Florida, the turnpike is cheap.
Yeah,
it's not worth.
It's not that expensive that you really have to worry about it.
Yeah,
and the miles that you'd run, the stoplights, the traffic, and everything, you're better off just paying it, depending on where you're going, of course.
And that might have been why
I think the alternative is only like 2 lanes a lot of the way.
Yeah.
If you do try to bypass, and it's only like $6. I mean, well, depending on how far you go, but I mean, it's not that much.
Yeah.
Depending on where you're going, the best way to avoid it, especially if you're just heading straight south of Miami, is either to stay on 75 or to shoot over and take US 27 south. The US 27, you're going to spend so much time at stoplights running through town after small town after small town after small town.
It's worth just staying on the Sun Pike.
When we used to pick up plants down there in Miami, we used to run right up into the toll road started, and we get off through Alligator Alley. Everybody called it Alligator Alley, so you're going to be going along the swamps.
So I think we covered the tolls. I don't think there's any other than bridges and stuff if you want to avoid them. I don't, if I were a company driver or an owner operator, it's smart for, just your value at your company to avoid tolls if you can. And as an owner operator, it's smart for your wife when you come home and give her the money that she needs to pay the bills. You gave her a little bit more because you avoided tolls, right?
Well, it's just smart to plan your route, figure out if it's worth it to go around or.
I think when I was trained too, Mike, the companies like, we started with, they wanted us to avoid tolls. So we had to trip plan around it.
Right.
Also, there's
because now with fuel prices, it may not. You know what I mean?
it's so
it may
important.
break even. You know, you got to run the miles.
It might get you a paycheck.
Yeah.
Right. So St. Jude's this year, guys, I mentioned it earlier. I don't know if when we were talking before the show or when we got going, but we've raised some money for St. Jude's. We're gonna have the guy on in January. This will be our last rally for St. Jude's today. We're gonna do trucking questions with Kumar, where Kumar will battle.
I will battle
our drivers who have 395 years of combined experience in trucking, counting with Jim in there. And Joel's come up with some really hard questions today.
I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
And since this is our last week, and it's for St. Jude's, I'm gonna take the drivers, and we've been beat up pretty good lately. We've lost a few guys, right? And this is time for us to come back. So
well, we haven't lost. It's just Kumar's getting smarter.
Kumar's getting smarter, exactly.
Not when I bet on him, he doesn't. He acts like
say this.
Every time I get him, he acts like a moron. Is this thing on?
So I'm going to go $50 for the drivers for St. Jude's if my drivers win. So how about Doty and Christian take Kumar together? What do you guys think?
I think I'll take. You're good on that. Okay, I was going to do a little negotiation. I was going to say, why don't I take him? Why don't I take him for 50? And if Kumar loses, he buys everybody a fish stalker's hat. And if he wins, and then if he wins, Russ, you buy everybody a fish stalker's hat.
Do you got them in inventory, Mike?
They're like $21 a piece.
Yeah. Be a big bill.
That's going to be a big bill.
We're even running a deal right now online. Take 20 off.
Look at that, guys. We're running a deal right now.
20%
take 20 off on $21 hat. It's $1.
20%.
Oh, you didn't specify.
the promo code is take 20 off, but it's 20%.
Yeah.
That's great. Dollar hats. I'll take 10.
Anyways.
All right. So how many hats do we have here? Let me get. How many hats? It would be the 4 on well, me too. So the 4 on screen, Kumar, and that's 5. And then drivers, how many we got? We got Kevin, Nate, Ray, Creech.
It's 10.
That's 4.
It's a $250 bill.
That's 5.
Yeah, that's between you and Kumar. I'm just saying I think it's a great idea.
What kind of deal can I get on 10, Mike? If my drivers lose, what kind of deal are you going to make me on 10 hats?
It's still about $250. These things aren't cheap.
Okay, we're going to negotiate a little more before we go into 10 hats.
How about this? I'll cover the shipping if you cover the hats.
The shipping?
Because that's going to be just as much as the hats when you're done with it.
Let's do adjustable hats.
All right.
We're 7 3/8.
I appreciate Christian's thing, but let's do this. Let's chip it into St. Jude's.
Okay.
Throw a little bit more into St. Jude's.
Okay, let's do that. So here's what I'm going to do. I don't expect anybody to follow my lead, but I am going to so I donate every year to charity. And so I'm going to finish up my donation for the year. I'm $250 to St. Jude's.
Wow.
With the drivers.
That's nice of you.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't used to donate to charity until Kumar started losing consistently. But hey, Mike, you and I each do 50 on Kumar. That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we got $350 to St. Jude's on the line here.
I'm gonna cover the hats.
Yes. So Kumar, are you ready?
I'm ready.
He's ready.
Do it.
Trucking questions with Kumar. Joel, have it.
Take it away. All right. What's up, guys? No, I cannot take that right now. All right. Welcome back. Trucking Questions with Kumar. I'm Joel. Here we are, December 14th. But first, this day in history. December 14th, 1799. We lost George Washington. Okay.
That's sad.
Moving on. Question number 1. Kumar.
Yeah.
All right. When should you use the hand valve to park a combination vehicle? Is it A, when parking at loading docks? Is it B, never? Is it C, when parking on a grade? Or is it D, every time? When should you use the hand valve to park a combination
It's a
vehicle?
good question for him.
I have to say parking on a grade.
So drivers,
Parking on a grade.
Never.
Never.
when parking.
Right.
Never.
Never.
I'm with the drivers.
The only time I use it is to check
Tug
make sure my
test.
kingpin's hooked. Yep.
A tug test. That's it.
Tug test.
That's it.
So we're right, Joel?
All right, John.
We never know with Joel's questions and answers.
Wait a
We might be wrong.
What I
I
hate
you
is-
got it.
what I hate
1-0
is the newer
drivers.
Trucks are not even coming out with those anymore.
Really?
1-0 drivers.
Yeah, a lot of the newer trucks are they're not coming out with that.
Does yours have one?
trolley brake.
A trolley brake? Creech? We lost him on
Yeah,
Ray's phone.
Kevin's Kenworth doesn't have one.
Oh, really?
You know what I use my trolley brake for? I would use it when I was using somebody else's trailer, so
Hang
I
your
would save
keys
the
on.
brakes on my truck. I would use that.
Well,
Just use the trailer. I'd always use the
So
trolley
you're not
brake
wearing
to
out your
stop.
brakes on your truck.
Yeah,
Another
Yeah.
time I use it is when I pull up on the cat scale. Because if you use the regular brakes, it might wedge the scales a little bit more and it'll not have a true weight. But if you use your trailer brake, you're only braking one axle on your trailer and the rest
Yeah,
of
that
it's
makes
free.
sense. But it's definitely not when parking on a grade, Kumar.
No.
Well, darn. I knew it
Okay,
wasn't that
1-0 drivers.
All right, Kumar, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Question number 2. What is the best way to test if your vehicle's spring brakes come on automatically? Is it A, continue to step on and off the brake pedal until the parking brake valve pops out on tractor trailer vehicles? Is it B, continue to step on and off the brake pedal until the manufacturer's low PSI specs has been met for the spring brakes to deploy? Is it C, continue to step on and off the brake pedal until the parking brake valve pops out on a single vehicle? Or is it D, all the above?
Oh man, that was a lot.
One's a single, one's a combination, and one's the other one.
One's all the above.
Let's go all the above.
He says all the above.
It says all the above. Drivers, did you hear any of that?
What do you say, Ray? Jim? Read the answers for him again, or in the question.
All right. What is the best way to test if your vehicle's spring brakes come on automatically? Is it all the above? Is it continue to step on and off the brake pedal until the parking brake valve pops out on a tractor trailer, on a single vehicle, or is it continue to step on and off the brake pedal until the manufacturer's low PSI specs has been met for the spring brakes to deploy? Or is it D, all the above?
What do you say, Jim, Ray, Creech, Kevin, Nate?
All the above. All the above.
All the above.
You say all the above.
All the above.
Okay, I was going to say something different, but I'm not in the thing. But I was going to say till your PSI alarm goes off. But anyway, what was it?
It was all the above.
That's wrong.
All
Bingo.
Yeah, Joel
First
only read that answer 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right, here we go.
So we have a tie.
Kumar,
Yeah.
what do you call a sad cup of coffee?
I don't know what.
That would be a depresso. All right.
What was the in between the eyes joke again, Joel?
I would have left that. Say this. All right, question 3.
Yeah. I hear you, Russ. Loud and clear.
Kumar, while driving, where should you be looking ahead of your vehicle? Is it A, straight forward at all times? Is it B, toward the left side of the roadway? Is it C, towards the right side of the roadway? Or is it D, both far and near, then back and forth? While driving, where should you be looking ahead of your vehicle?
Far and near and back and forth.
He says far, near, back and forth. Drivers, did you hear any of that? Did you
Yeah.
understand any of that?
Yeah, you're supposed to look at the left side of your window.
Sorry, window.
Yeah.
We have any other
Makes sense.
How about Jim? Jim, what do you think?
I think he's just picking a different answer in the event that it's.
Yeah.
I pretend I have a bobblehead on. I look all over the place.
Yep.
I don't know which one of them answers say that, but I look all over the place.
I got a feeling Ray's right
on a swivel?
as far as Kumar being right when he picked his answer.
Left,
All right,
right,
Kumar,
up, corner.
you got it. It's both far and near, then back and forth.
My
Nice.
man, totally
All
redeeming
right,
yourself.
2-1. Question number 4. What is the greatest amount of play that should be in your steering wheel? Is it A, 1 inch? Is it B, 5 inches? Is it C, 2 inches? Or is it D, none? What's the greatest amount of play that should be in your steering wheel?
Well, how big is a commercial truck steering wheel? How many inches?
18?
I'm asking Kumar. It was a bonus question.
I'd probably say 18.
Christian.
17.
I don't know.
I might say. You said 1 inch.
1 inch, 5 inch, 2 inches, or none. What is the greatest amount of play that should be in your steering wheel?
I'll say 1 inch.
1 inch. 1 inch. Drivers, you have a guess.
2.
2. Says wise man.
I'll go with 2.
All right, 2 wise men.
2.
The answer is 2 inches, Kumar. 2 inches.
Back to tie.
And we lost
Tied up,
Christian.
Tied up. All right, Kumar. Where do pirates get their hooks?
His computer shut down. He's trying to get back on.
Darn it.
Where do pirates get their hooks? I don't know where.
That would be secondhand stores. All right. Question. Are you ready?
I'm
Question
ready.
number 5. Here we go. What is the main difference between aggressive driving and road rage? Is it A, the intent to do harm or physical assault? Is it B, the level of anger? Is it C, outcome of the situation? Or is it D, all the above?
Read the question again, Joel.
What is the main difference between aggressive driving and road rage? Is it intent to do harm or physical assault? Is it your level of anger? Is it the outcome of the situation? Or is it all the above?
Let's go A.
Intent to assault? Is that
Intent to do harm or physical assault. Difference between aggressive driving and road rage. What do you say, drivers?
Kevin, Nate, Jim, Ray, Creech?
All the above.
All the above. You guys agree? I agree with them.
Drivers say all the above. Their answer, though,
A.
was intent to do harm or physical.
Wow.
That was the last one.
Integrity.
I thought we had that. I was all in with the drivers. I'm like, they're paying.
I was in too, Russ.
I started thinking
I
about it.
had a
I said,
bonus
wait a minute, I
question.
think he's right.
That means Kumar won.
Yeah.
Wow. I really thought we had it too.
I thought so too. All of the
I almost
above.
chose all of the above too, and then I was like, that can't be it. There's too many all of the aboves.
Kumar, write it down. 250 from me to the final up on the St. Jude's that we'll be giving them in January.
Okay. Wrote it down.
See, that's what I said. Kumar's getting smarter.
Yeah. I cannot believe that just happened.
Sometimes I'm smart.
I was like, yes. Off the hook.
You almost got me. Almost got me.
Yeah. Well, good.
I got an extra.
You know, it was fun all year doing this for St. Jude's. It makes me feel good. I never really knew a lot about St. Jude's, but other than the commercials you see on TV, they're sad. I usually change the channel because it's sad, you know, and to see kids in that situation. But I want to thank everybody that's throughout the second half of this year. I think we started at the end of summer or sometime around there collecting this. Kumar has to collect it up. You guys, everybody on the show, you drivers, you know, everybody's contributed something. Kumar's got it wrote down, and trust me, he will collect. But
I'm coming.
But I just want to thank everybody because, man, it's such a great cause. It's so much bigger than ourselves and the problems we face every day. We think life's hard, but man, I wouldn't want to walk a mile or an inch in those parents or those kids' shoes. So I'm doing it because I can and I care, and I know you guys are too. So hats off to you for all the donations you've made throughout our fundraising. And then Kumar, you'll get with, I forgot his name, the guy that came on last year, but he's like the head guy down there in Memphis.
Oh man, I was just thinking about it. I can't think of it right now.
But you have his email. And all
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I'll be
So we'll add it up through over the next week or so, and then after Christmas, shoot him you can do it anytime and just set it up for sometime in January. Tell him,
okay.
Once you get it added up, you can shoot it to him. Tell him this is what we collected for you this year.
Okay.
I do have a couple more people that told me that they want to donate with us. So before you tell them the amount, I'll get those to you probably in the next few days.
Okay.
They just weren't on the show, and they think, they wanted to be a part of our donation, so that'll help add to it for them too.
Okay.
So, but with that, Christian's power went out, or his computer, and I just told him I texted him. I said, you're only missing a bad joke by Joel. So you're okay. I should text him and tell him you lost and Mike doubled down on the last question.
Yeah, tell him you went double or nothing with.
Yeah, I will.
Tell him we doubled up for the last.
We'll let him
question.
sweat it out till tomorrow, and then I'll tell him I lost. But man, I know I'll talk to you guys here in the office and Mike, but drivers, I know I'll talk to most of you, but listeners, drivers out there that listen, have a safe holiday, have a happy holiday, and this will be it because we're doing it every 2 weeks now.
28th.
So the 28th, what day is that's a Wednesday?
Last show these.
Okay, so we got one more show of the year, but this will be the one before. This is it before Christmas. So Feliz Navidad, all the other things. Happy Hanukkah. Have a happy Christmas, Merry Christmas. And Mike, do you got anything else?
No. Happy holidays. Everyone have a great holiday and be safe.
Yeah. Kumar?
I guess like, comment, subscribe, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify. That's all.
And that's it. And that's all, folks. So go Browns, go Guardians, and go Jets.